We must choose between greatness or gridlock, results or resistance, vision or vengeance, incredible progress or pointless destruction.
President Trump lays out his agenda in his second State of the Union address.
Yeah, this speech was one of the longest in history. It lasted 82 minutes. Our national correspondent Christine Frizzell is in Washington, D.C. with a closer look at some of those major talking points and the responses coming in from across the country this morning.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
A simultaneous call for unity and illustration of this country's divide. The president calling for Congress to come together to pass legislation to update policies on everything from trade to paid family leave, but also to end what he called, quote, ridiculous partisan investigations.
We must choose between greatness or gridlock, results or resistance, vision or vengeance, incredible progress or pointless destruction.
The president touting accomplishments like a strong economy and criminal justice reform, but making clear border security is still issue number one.
The lawless state of our southern border is a threat to the safety, security, and financial well-being of all America.
Democratic lawmakers responding swiftly to the address and the president's push for compromise.
When it came to sort of the central issue of the moment, which is trying to prevent another government shutdown, the president just went back to his playbook of division.
Georgia Democratic gubernatorial nominee Stacey Abrams gave the response for the Democrats, also slamming the recent government shutdown.
Making livelihoods of our federal workers a pawn for political games is a disgrace.
Whereas President Trump touted his tax bill, Stacey Abrams knocked it.
The Republican tax bill rigged the system against working people. Rather than bringing back jobs, plants are closing, layoffs are looming.
Well, reaction to the State of the Union is pouring in from both Republicans and Democrats. Some Republican lawmakers are praising the president for his stance on immigration and the border wall.
I think the president set the tone. Now Congress has a responsibility in the next 2 weeks to show America we can get this border security done.
Many Democrats, on the other hand, criticize the president's remarks and say his call for unity lacked credibility.
The State of the Union address was disappointing on many fronts. He spoke a lot of words of bipartisanship, but this is a guy whose teleprompter is very different than his tweets, than his constant rhetoric.
This morning, a new CBS News poll finds that more than 75% of Americans who tuned into the address last night approved of the president's speech. Just 24% in that poll disapproved. For context, the same poll finds that 43% of people who watched identified as Republicans, and almost all of them approved. Just 30%, though, of the Democrats who watched say they agreed with the president's message.
This morning, Idaho lawmakers offered their reactions to the State of the Union address. Senator Jim Risch says President Trump's second year in office produced an even longer, more impressive list of accomplishments than his first. As we heard, our economy continues to soar. Wages remain up and unemployment is still at a historic low. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll have more reaction from Idaho lawmakers on the State of the Union address. Stick with us because we'll be bringing you continuing coverage from Idaho's delegation on air, as well as on idahonews.com and our CBS 2 Facebook and Twitter pages. You can also get alerts